Hey, it's Kasim with Solutions 8, and in this video, I want to show you how to find the next big product. So this is especially applicable for people that are already crushing the e-commerce game. You know how to build up a Shopify store, you know how to drive traffic, you are doing really well, fulfillment's not a problem, customer service isn't a problem. And now you're just like, all right, cool, I'm crushing it with what I've got. How do I go find the next thing? How do I, level up, roll off another store, find the next product that I want to sell? If you know the power of shopping and smart shopping, this is probably where you are right now because, no matter how well you do with any particular product, there's always a ceiling. There's only so many people out there that you can sell that product to. And, you might roll out different lines and different expansion opportunities. But for most of us, it becomes an addiction to go and try to find, additional e-commerce opportunities. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to walk you through my process. Now, I'm not telling you my process is the best process or the only process. It's just what I use. And then what I'd love from you is if you've got your own process, let me know. Hit me up with your tips. I'd be really interested. Would love to learn and grow with you. So here's what I'm doing. The very first thing that I'm going to do is go into Think with Google has this really cool rising retail categories. I normally, to be frank, start with Google Trends, but I've been playing with this recently and I just kind of like it. And so my last couple of forays have been off of this tool. So just to go over it real quick, it lets you filter by country and timeline, which is going to get really important here in just a minute. And it shows you the top trending categories specifically for retail products, which is applicable to us if we want to run shopping campaigns. And then within the categories, like if I click on medical equipment, I can see all the queries that attributed or can be attributed to medical equipment and making this a top growing category. Scrolling down, if you're playing the localized game for whatever reason, you can see some data here. I'm not, so I'm just going to focus on this data. Now, first and most importantly, we want to change monthly to yearly. Couple of reasons. One, I don't trust month-by-month data just because there's a big spike in what people are interested in. COVID is a really good example of this. There was a pandemic. Everybody wanted masks. The whole wide world flooded towards masks, and maybe masks will continue to be a viable product, but it's not anything I'm going to get into. I don't like monthly spikes. I like things that I can see on an annualized basis have a pretty consistent increase in interest. And so move this over to yearly. Now, if you've got a really big engine on you, let's say you've got a great fulfillment center, you can do your own manufacturing, monthly might make a lot of sense for you because you're more nimble than I am. For me, if I find a product, I have to go source it. So I have to find a strategic partner. I've got to go overseas. I've got to buy it. I've got to, figure out the import game, and I need more time. And I also want something that's going to have a little bit more longevity. So I'm going to pay attention to annualized data. Looking at annualized data, and I'm just going to do this live with you. So hopefully you find this of value, and I'm going to bumble along and hope that I can make it valuable. Now, the very first thing is sprinkler controls. This is actually really exciting to me because that's a super kind of obscure and specific product type. So I like the category here. What I don't like seeing, let me just copy this because I'm going to be using this for keywords. What I don't like seeing are brands because I know I'm probably not going to be able to source that brand. I don't play the affiliate game at all. I'm actually going to go get these products. So this is a little discouraging, but I see sprinkler timer. Let me copy that actually, that's more applicable. So sprinkler timer is cool. Now the very first note I'll give you is you can assume you know what a product is. I think I know what a sprinkler timer is, but until you go search and make sure, I have been surprised in the past. Sometimes, the name that you see for something isn't necessarily what you assume it will be, or maybe there is such a thing as sprinkler timer, but Xbox just released a game called the Sprinkler Timer, which has happened to us in the past. One of our clients, they created a branded product that ended up being very similarly named to a really popular game at the time. And it wreaked havoc on our search traffic. So just make sure you know exactly what this is, number one. Number two, let's start looking at what a sprinkler timer is and what it goes for. So I'm going to move me. So here's a sprinkler system timer at $60. Cool. $50, $30, $40, $50, $30. And some of these obviously nicer than others. $25, $30, $50, $40. Cool. So now I know what a sprinkler timer, I know what I can sell it for, roughly speaking. And I like that it's this niche because I feel like I could probably build something, dedicated to this type of approach. And my narrative, in terms of quality score, maintaining continuity, establishing thought leadership, it's a little bit better than just Lowe's. So I'm not scared off by any of these bigger competitors. But let me go see what sprinkler timers cost. Now, I'm not telling you to use Alibaba. I've had some good experiences in Alibaba. I've had some bad experiences on Alibaba. But what I am saying is sprinkler timer. It does a really good job of letting you know, roughly speaking, what the cost of goods actually ends up being. So you can source however you want to source. I'm just using this for data. So I saw anywhere between like 25 and 50 to 60 felt like the average. Let's just say $40. I can see this is 10 to 13 bucks, and there's a one-piece minimum order, which is great, by the way. That's unusual. Here we go, $10 cost, and that's 20 pieces. These kind of look a little dumpy, though. If you look at some of the comparisons here, that might be on par. Like this is digitally based. Are these digitally based? They are. Good. So that might be on par. So $10, $12. This feels a lot nicer, and it's damn near $20 and 200-piece minimum order quantity. I'm probably not going to go Premier with this just yet. 10 to 12, 20 pieces. That's fair. I'll throw 200 some odd dollars at something just to see if it works. So the issue with this, though, is I just don't feel like the margins are there. I saw these things going for as cheap as 25 bucks, $30, and my cost being at 30 bucks, or excuse me, selling for 30, buying it for 10, 67% margins. I don't like that. So I would probably quit here. I'm done with sprinkler timers. However, let me, just for the sake of this video, so I can continue to provide value, I'm going to show you the next steps that I would take. So let's say that I'm still kind of moderately interested in sprinkler timers. I've got this handy dandy estimates and projections doc, which I give away for free, by the way, if you go to solate.com/estimates. And I'll include that link in this video. Let me make a note for myself to do that. But if you go to solate.com, the number 8.com/estimates, you can download this document, and there's a video that walks you through exactly how to use it. It's really nifty. And there's two tabs, one for e-commerce, one for lead generation. So I need to go see how much money I'd actually make on the sprinkler timer. So let's go figure out sprinkler timer. I've got Keyword Planner queued up here, but anybody can use it. It's free. And sprinkler timer, max CPC, there's no way. Average CPC $1.74. Look at that big disparity there. That's really interesting. I'm going to assume, let's say $1.74. That feels reasonable. I'm just curious. I wonder what happens if, let's do timers. Yeah, it doesn't change much. That's really interesting. So I'll say $1.75. That's fine. So average cost is $1.75. My profit on this is $20, and that's a lie, because after shipping, fulfillment, all the stuff that you have to do, even if you're charging for shipping, if you're using a fulfillment house, we're not going to get a ton of repeat customers, but let's just be kind to ourselves. I know my conversion rate will be high, hopefully really high actually, because I'm good at this. So, and there's a lot of continuity between the search term and the product. And with Smart Shopping, I know that I can sort of go out and get them. I will have no fee because I'm doing this for myself, but if you're hiring an agency, and you should be hiring me, then you're going to have a fee, so make sure to calculate your fee into there. But, even fee aside, the best I can expect, and that's what the fluffed up average lifetime customer value is, 170% ROAS. There's no way I'd do this product. So I aim for 300% ROAS at a minimum, and obviously that's highly dependent on your margins. But what I've noticed, and the reason 300% is because I've also noticed that Google appears to give preferential treatment to campaigns that are exceeding a 300% ROAS. Google is obsessed with customer experience, and if you're selling, it means people like you. So this is a no-go. No-go for sprinkler timers. Let's delete these. Let's move my face again. It's hard to have your face on the screen and navigate around things, y'all. All right, so let's go back. I'm going to find another one. Not going to do sneeze guards. That's all. This is COVID. This is COVID. This is I think the next sock thing that people wear. COVID. Motor vehicle windshield covers. That's interesting. That's niche. But looking at the categories, that's completely irrelevant. RV rental near me. Camper rental near me. So somehow these got bundled into that. Obviously not applicable. We don't get into the windshield covers until here at the bottom. Not going to do that. There's not enough movement here. Craft molds up 700%. That's interesting. I kind of like the sound of that already. I don't know what this stuff is. So this is where it's worth kind of going to school. So resin molds. So let's go to Lord Google, and I'm just going to say resin molds. Cool. All right, so it's like jewelry making stuff. That makes sense to me too. People are stuck at home, they're looking for something to do. Craft spike, so that might be a little trendy. One thing that might worry me just a little bit is how long something like this lasts, because we don't know how long we're all going to be stuck at home for. But I do like the model, and it sort of spans the spectrum in terms of retail pricing. I'm seeing like $30, $20, 18, 23, 22. I like that too. Anytime I see big swings, here's 4. So let's go to Alibaba and figure out what our resin molds are going to cost us. Now that could be winner chicken dinner right there, ladies and gentlemen. Look at these, 96 cents a piece. Now I would need to go learn this industry. So this just became my catalyst to go figure out what the hell resin molds really are and why people use them. I saw another word. What did they say? Was it silicone? Silicone mold for resin. Resin crafts. Yeah. So I don't think I know what resin is. I always thought it was like the aftermath on a bong. But I'm loving the prices here, 30 cents to 90 cents, and look like Halloween. So I know I can do seasonality campaigns. This looks really cool. So now if I like what I'm seeing, let's just hit up Amazon and figure out what resin molds are going for on Amazon. This looks great. So $14, $16, $8, $20, and these are things that I'm buying for pennies. And obviously maybe building my own bundles potentially just to see how that goes, which by the way, you can sometimes get the folks on Alibaba to do for you. So if you're buying from a manufacturer, they'll create, they'll do a lot. They'll jump through a lot of hoops. Yeah, your minimum order needs to be high, but if you prove concept, then that's perfectly fine. This looks really promising. I almost wish I didn't use this for the video because this is something that I might try tackling. So okay, they're going for significantly higher than they would cost me. So I like this model already. You've got some like specialized types of molds that are sort of fun, and then seasonal molds. And I imagine if I dove deep, you could find a lot here. I'm on the first page and I haven't even really gone long tail with it. So let's figure out keyword forecast. Resin mold. $1. That's about what I would have guessed. So I like to just compare things like mold and molds. You'd be surprised at how often that really has a really significant impact. Sure, yeah, still $1. 96 cents. I'm gonna just say $1.50 because I would anticipate it being a little bit higher if I want to get aggressive. Now remember, these are search costs. We're going for shopping. And those two are not analogous at all. So this $12 damn near that you could pay for search, I'm not gonna play the search game. I'm gonna go shopping, smart shopping. I might do search in the beginning just to catalyze purchases so I can inform my smart shopping campaign, but search is not where I'm going to earn my customers. So this number that I'm using to benchmark is a kind lie. We don't really know what our shopping costs are going to be. Smart shopping campaigns can be 60, 70, 80 cents because it's a remarketing paradigm. They're display based for the most part. But just using these numbers because we have no other benchmark. So I'm saying $1.50 because now I'm padding my numbers because I want to be really cautious here. Anytime I get excited, I get cautious. And I saw these things going for $20, but let's say, and my costs are nothing. Let's say I'm making $10. Now, this is where we can have some fun. I feel like my lifetime customer value here would be significant. You could have subscription products. You could do a monthly package. You could do, upsells. There's email churn and burn. Anytime you get into somebody's hobby, people are obviously making stuff here. Your lifetime value is going to be high. So I bet you our lifetime customer value would be $50. And this is a Pareto distribution, by the way. Most people will come buy one thing from you, never come back again. They snap up your whatever it is. But then you end up in a position where you now get to sell. And then, I also imagine there's a consumable element to this. Like whatever you're using to put in the resin molds, which I guess is resin, they need more of that. So 2018, 13, etc. So our costs are good. So let's take a look at this. $1.50. Again, I think I'm going to have really solid conversion rates. And my monthly ROAS is going to be self-liquidating, basically. So I'm going to get my money back. But my lifetime ROAS, what I'm doing here is I'm paying for a customer. So I earn the customer, and it's a self-liquidating offer, which means that the campaign is funding itself, which I'm fine with. I like playing that game. And I have my CPCs at double what I imagine they would be incidentally, given that we'd be running shopping and smart shopping. But then my lifetime would be, that's a great ROAS. Now let's assume this is lower, but let me go put this back where I think it's going to be. That's actually even better. That's less friendly. We use the Google number. Self-liquidating, that's great. So if I trust my ability to go improve my lifetime customer value, and I do, then I think that this would be a great product. So then the other thing that I'm going to do, there's a few things actually. So let's go look at, I'm going to go look at Google Trends real quick. Resin molds. Oh, look at that. And you know what I really like about this is the influx started to happen kind of pre-COVID. I think COVID in the States was February, March when we actually started quarantining, if I'm not wrong. And you can see a nice little spike here, and then the trend line is going up. That dip might scare me, but Google's projections showing going back up. Oh, that's just because we're in August. Okay, so this dip isn't real, by the way. I get caught by that all the time. That happens in my... Wait, no, is it? No, it's week over week. Interessante. Yeah, that might scare me a little bit, but I would maybe watch the trend a little bit longer. And if I had, by the way, so let's say I'd found a couple of products, and I don't think I'm going to do another one because this video is getting long enough, but ignore that. That might be interesting. Ignore. I don't know what a modulator is. That could get interesting though. Yeah. There we go. Bidets. So I might do something like this. Let's say that I went and found that bidets are super cheap, and I like that product too. Then I'm going to just kind of make a big comparison. Now, why on earth would bidet have this great big, that's a COVID spike for sure. But isn't that interesting that people want a bidet for COVID? I'm not going to speculate on why that would be. But what I'm doing here is I'm just looking at two products compared to each other, and I want to see what the trend line looks like. Because like I said, I'm looking for longevity. So I really like this resin mold thing. The other thing you can do is Google has shopping insights. This report I don't love quite as much because it feels fluffed. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to find this actually. Resin molds. Let's see. Art resin. I think that's it because it's in glue and adhesives. I don't know. Art resin. Let's try it. So again, let's go back. Never look at that myopic of a view. It's going to let me go a year. There we go. Bam. Another nice little uptick. And we'll just do, for the sake of the discussion, bidets. Go away, thing. I don't want to subscribe. Google. This is going to take a really long time, by the way. It always is a little finicky. I might end up having to pause this video. Okay. Didn't take that long, but it gave me time for water. And there's that big spike again. So I like, by the way, this is going to show you things like top brands, available volume, interest by location. Like it's a cool report when you get a response on it, but sometimes you'll find, kind of like the art resin. I don't know that this is necessarily exactly what I'm looking for. Art resin. So let's see what this is. Oh yeah, that is what I want. Cool. So now what I would be doing is going to school on resin molds and figuring out what this whole ecosystem looks like, what people are interested in, who the thought leader is. I'd be looking for influencers. Influencers are cheap, especially in niches like this. So I bet you $1 billion, there's some guy or gal out there that has 1 million followers across, who knows what, Instagram or YouTube or whatever, doing this resin stuff, and they're not monetizing it. So I can go in there, and for $500, I bet you I can get quite a bit in the way of push. I might even be able to get a dedicated email blast if they have an email list. So yeah, this is super cool. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I'd want to. Now you're doing product market fit, avatar research, and you know how to play that game. What I do at this point, let me leave that site because it offends my eyes. If I'm ready to rock, I actually purchase the product. So I'd go buy, go figure out what I want my packages to be. Remember, smart shopping needs, you want multiple SKUs. So, get enough there for you to be able to spread some degree of search across. I would do the fulfillment myself, so I'm not going to go set up a fulfillment house or anything. We already have the shells necessary for us to be able to place entities. I'm sure you might too. And so I'd roll up a smart shopping campaign, actually purchase some of the product, get it shipped over here, air freight, so that I can have it quickly. I'm not looking to make money. I'm looking to prove concept. And then if I can, then I would set up, this would be, a new sweet little business for me to run right up until people stop buying resin molds. And if I'm working on smart shopping, I might cascade over to Amazon. Amazon does get a little finicky there. I don't love giving Amazon everything that I've got, especially from a fulfillment standpoint. They tend to eat into margins pretty heavy. Anyway, I'm off on a tangent. I hope this was helpful. So hit me in the comments. Let me know what you think. If you have any other ideas, if you think I'm stupid, if you're like, dude, there's no way this will ever work, I'd like to know that too. Save me for myself. Please, if you are interested in running Google Ads, that's what I do for a living. That's why we're creating these videos. We're assassins. Go watch some of my smart shopping campaigns. I don't think anybody's doing as well as we're doing. And I'd love to build you a free action plan. You can go request a free action plan on my website, sol8.com. Like this video if you liked it. If you didn't, just don't touch things. And if you subscribe, I'm shooting a video a day because I want to provide a ton of value and be YouTube famous. So subscribe, hit the bell. If I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll start going live, which will be kind of fun, maybe, or maybe not. I don't know. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you, and I'll see you tomorrow.